Is this like triple canopy Vietnam, or is this like my backyard after I'm too lazy to mow it for the summer?
No,
Well,
this is thick jungle.
Yeah, it's thick jungle. Imagine like Vietnam, like see in the movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So
Are
flying's not gonna help.
we putting our
After-
tokens on this field, or
you're at the point where like you've got canopy over your head. It's not direct sunlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the bottom of the map. I think he said.
Yes, you would be.
okay?
Uh,
Okay, we're gonna get Ruehnar and Makuto up front.
Okay.
Uh,
By the way,
those
you're getting control of them, so
I-
you would be the one to roll their stealth, their perception, all that stuff,
okay,
as well as move them around.
cool. So where are they on the map?
We haven't moved to the map yet because I wanted
Yep.
to.
Oh, I did move. I moved everybody to the map. I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't know that. All
Ruehnar,
right.
Quinar,
Well, before activity takes
and
place,
Makuto are gonna lead the charge.
okay.
Backing up them, I think it should be me and Babar, because this guy's going to need to get some magical damage. I can just get my magical damage ready to go. If it goes physical, we got Babar. Everybody else trail behind and guard our back.
Yep.
Anybody
All right.
detect or problem?
No, Elvator is slow, so he's okay with this.
Babar will
Vykon says,
go
what do I do?
Vykon, you stay near me, bear boy.
All right.
I will show you how we do this in Mother Russia.
What is Russia?
Why is your mother in a rush?
Mm.
Okay. So, you took you took a few minutes after the battle to gain your bearings, just check through stuff.
Check your
So
socials.
It's been a few minutes. It's been a few minutes. And you get Makuto and the ranger to go through and start looking for some tracks ahead of you. So, Ramon, please roll survival check for both of those guys. I don't know if Makuto has survival, but if not, then roll for Ruehnar.
Does everybody can see the map, like the stuff on the map?
I only see Vykon, Babar, and Elvator on the map.
Well, I know you can see everything, but I mean, it's not dark for anybody. Everybody's got vision.
No.
Well, you got to put your thing on the map.
But now Basil's there. You're just missing Ruehnar and Makuto
And Theranos.
and Theranos. Yeah.
And Ray, but he'll never come back. Don't be looking at me, dog.
Where is his name for his animal?
It's Makuto. Oh, undoubtedly it didn't save when I hold on.
If you don't,
It didn't save when I gave him the thing for Makuto.
From Makuto.
does it have skills on there?
I don't know.
I'll roll a perception for Makuto then.
Give me perception or survival.
Well, survival first.
We ain't got no survival.
Okay, then perception.
So we're gonna roll perception with King Smell for the thing, since he's gonna be tracking them with smell too.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that didn't work. He has advantage on perception checks. Okay, so let's just
roll perception and he gets advantage.
20.
Okay. Both of those rolls actually would have worked. And so Makuto darts off. He or she definitely got some sort of scent. What will Ruehnar do?
Ruehnar is going to follow close behind, whipping out.
Okay. Will Ruehnar be stealthing?
Ruehnar will be stealthy as much as possible.
Okay, because you know you'll move like half speed if you do that.
Yeah.
Well, he's a wizard. He can see through paths without trace. So we don't necessarily need to be stealthy to get this guy. I mean, he might have buddies, but I don't know what anybody else thinks. But maybe we shouldn't go full bore to get him.
We
It's up
don't
to
know.
Ruehnar.
Who says tear ass to get this wizard dead?
Okay, so you're gonna move full.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can do a dash motion movement if you want. Meaning, you can move 12 squares.
12 squares.
Right, is Ruehnar's movement 30?
Yeah, they're both 30.
Okay. So when you dash, that means you can do double that. So you can go up to 12.
So somewhere about there is what I'm thinking. Is 12.
Okay. All right.
Makuto's just as fast, so he's right there too.
Yeah. That's you're following right behind Makuto and everybody else. What are you guys doing?
Yep. Following behind him, running as fast as I can because I can't be stealthy.
Okay.
Well, I'll move up to right behind him or right with him since I can probably keep up. I could surpass him if I needed to.
Yeah, I would imagine. I want to still try to stay behind Ranger as much as I can to get rid of my spell.
That was only supposed to be one movement, right?
Yeah, but if you're dashing, you can do double your movement.
Oh. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Not good for this crap. I also very subtly. Oh no, I shall do it my next action. Never mind.
Okay. How far are you guys able to see on the map?
We could probably see the whole map. I didn't.
Yeah, there's not any dynamic lighting on it.
All right. So move Makuto up closer to what he's chasing. Everybody moved, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to roll a perception check for this dude here.
Or Ruehnar?
No, for the guy he's chasing.
Can we all move?
Yeah, everybody can move.
I should change my hat. I take off my deerstalker and put on a stupid looking wizard hat.
Okay. All right, he definitely saw that he's being pursued. And He's gonna pull out dash, try to get away. All right. What would you like to do? Do you like to engage or keep pursuing? When I say engage, like long distance attacks.
Well, if we have them, yeah. I guess.
Well,
So who can see him at this point?
Then everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
who can see him?
Because like this area in the center here
Yeah,
is
we-
probably fairly thick jungle.
Oh, that's right. No, nobody can see him.
Yeah.
I think the cat can smell him, but yeah, nobody can see him. You saw him briefly, and he disappeared through jungle forestation. You saw the direction he was headed.
Let us continue our pursuit of the darkness.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep on keeping on.
Go ahead and move your characters.
Where on earth are you going, Babar?
Well, I don't see him, so I'm going to act like I don't see him.
Well, you're not going to follow
Invite-
everybody
You
else?
told Vykon to stay with you, so he's going by you.
Yep, well,
that was my 12.
Elvator is
Yeah,
going to
but
follow
who's
the group.
12?
Hold on a second. Okay.
What?
Okay. You hear a like a scream coming from that direction where you saw the lizard man running. Like something happened to that lizard shaman. He's like,
Run up.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do a jog up.
okay.
You
Everybody heard that. It was like no perception check necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see him from where I'm at? Oh wait, I can't cast right now anyway. Doesn't matter. Now it's on a fly.
Okay, is Babar moving?
You're in the wrong direction.
Okay. Now, where you get where you are now, everybody except Vykon can see the lizard man, and it looks like he's wrapped up in some kind of a vine around him. It's like he's all twisted on it, and he's still standing up though, but it's like all wrapped around him. His arms are, down along the side of his body. His staff that he was holding is dropped, and ahead of you, you see a bunch of mist. It's still like all the misty area that you see to the right of the map. It's parts of the jungle that are foggy, just because that's how rainforest gets sometimes. And everybody Go ahead and roll initiative.
I don't want to.
This was a bad idea.
Wait, is the box has to be open?
Yeah, you got to put the initiative counter up.
How do I do that?
Hit the little clock over here on your right side. No, on your left side. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Alrighty.
Look at Babar with the big 4. No, wait, you didn't. Well, it didn't get cleared from last time, so Babar's 4 goes away. Elevator, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 21 both times.
Wow.
I got to take the lizard. Is the shaman still alive?
I rolled a 3 both times.
Oh yeah, he's just wrapped up, and he's like, "Ah!"
Okay.
And he's like, he's trying to wiggle himself free, but it doesn't look like it's working.
What did Ruehnar roll?
Hold on, I gotta do it again because it gave me Theranos again.
No, it says there. It says you roll because you are you.
Yeah, but it applied it to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Basil, you rolled a 3. Elevator, you rolled a 21. I got a 16. Vykon, you rolled a 9, right? Or an 18.
Yeah, I think these are accurate. Yeah.
18.
18. Okay.
Let's put them in order and kill a wizard.
All right. Oh, what happened?
Reverse order.
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Now hold on a second. I'm looking at an information card on the side.
You looking for your creature?
I'm looking for my creature's initiative.
I don't see it. Did you roll it?
No. I mean, I don't see a thing I can click on. Oh, there it is. It's a little die thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do we got?
I don't think you got.
Okay. All right. Go ahead
He's
and bring him on the map.
Okay. Where you want him at?
Where he is.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
The fudge is fudge.
Okay.
It's a mandragora.
All right. You see like a very large plant creature, like a big bulbous bloom with lots of spines that look like teeth. Like it almost looks like a big maw. And it has these lots of big leaves and vines coming out of it. And it has one big vine wrapped around a shaman friend. And the vines are, have spines all over them and stuff like that. And he, where did he go on the initiative?
Second. He'd be second. He's 18. He'd be second.
Yeah, you got to redo it.
I re-roll it?
No, you got to reorganize it.
Okay, I see it. Okay, so he is. I don't see it.
Did you put him in? You can manually add him.
I got 2 Vykons on there at 18.
I actually don't want.
That's because you didn't click the monster when you rolled. You rolled.
Okay, let me do it again.
Well, I don't have but one Vykon on there,
Well,
so I don't.
You can always change it if you want to wish. If you want to change the initiative count on something that's already on the turn order, or if it's not on the turn order. If it's not on the turn order, then you can right-click it and press Add Turn.
Okay.
And then once it's on the turn order, then you just click on the number and you can change it to whatever number you wish.
Okay. Can we put the name of the beast on the turn order or something?
It is.
It's on. You see
Oh no, it doesn't have the name.
You can. Well, if you want to put it on, it's fairly easy. You just modify. You just go right-click on the token, and then you just put Add nameplate.
I got it.
And that should add it.
I got you.
There you are.
There you go.
Chia nuts.
All right.
You don't mess with
So
those
anyway,
chia seeds.
you see like this within the mist, you see that big creature, and it's pulling. Well, it's about to pull the shaman towards it, but Elvator has the initiative. What are you doing?
Well, so far the planned creature is not. Yeah, currently the planned creature is not attacking us. It is attacking the lizard folk.
Yes.
So I shall hit the lizard folk. And considering that this is still sort of a part of the last combat, I'm going to use my bonus action to move the hex to him. And then I am going to fire off 2 Ashardalon's Fury, or Eldritch Blasts at him. Oh, wait. Nope, just one.
Whoa, what?
Just one. Because the damage went up. The damage was not supposed to go up. I was supposed to have 2 blasts, not 1. There we go.
That hits him. Roll damage.
All right, I'll roll damage on both now that I've fixed it. So, yeah.
What's the total damage?
13, 22, 26. And I gain 2 hit points for that. Yay me.
That's a good way to fight.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically just tore his head off.
Yeah.
And doing anything else?
Well, I'm gonna approach this plant.
Okay.
And this plant is not set. The only thing this plant has done was attack our lizard folk friend, right? Our enemy.
That's right.
So I shall attempt to speak with it in common, but I have a feeling it probably won't understand. Greetings, noble plant. We are emissaries of the great and terrible vampire dragon lord of Shardalon. We bid you join us on our quest. We seek to consecrate the
All right, as you're
shrine
saying
of...
the shaman gets pulled over to him, and he gets thrown into the maw of this mouth, and he's just like, you hear like, and he's just chopping down and basically eating the lizard man.
Yes, of course. I understand, great and noble plant creature. I understand your desire to eat your enemies. My lord of Shardalon does the same. You can translate that into his service.
All right.
Now, pray tell, noble creature, do you speak a language that we can understand? And I'll repeat this in all the languages that I know, which I believe is...
2.
Well, you know what?
I know Common and Elvish, and I believe I know Dwarvish and Deep Speech, and Celestial.
Well, what's the second language you're trying? Because it's not responding to the common tongue.
I would probably have tried Deep Speech as the second one, because it's very unlikely if it doesn't know Common that it would know Dwarvish or Elvish. So yeah, I'd try Deep Speech.
Okay. While you do that, all of a sudden, a number of other vines lash out at yourself, Ruehnar, Makuto, and Basil. One moment while I roll those attacks.
Okay.
Did you see my message, Matt?
Yes, I did. But
As he was speaking,
I am using a bottle of... You will burn now, bitch.
Getting his turn before that gets to take effect.
Okay.
Could at least drop it in his
Speak
mouth?
with plants.
No.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
None of those are going to hit me.
All right. The first one was...
They all hit me.
should be 4. There's
Only
three
see
in
3.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll one more. Oh, that was initiative, not the attack. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. First one went to Ruehnar. Second one went to Elvator.
Okay.
Third one went to Makuto, and the fourth one went to Basil.
The fourth one says initiative.
Well, no,
there's
there's
no-
one underneath the speak with plants the second time from our
what do
druid
we got?
friend.
22.
Okay,
Seriously, a 22.
Okay. And
I can speak with plants.
Yeah.
I try to stop his action because I'm a druid.
well,
Well,
it's not your turn yet.
It's not your turn.
Yeah.
So who?
Okay.
Was Ruehnar hit with a 13?
I don't know what Ruehnar's AC is.
Well, I'm
Ruehnar.
asking Ramon. What's Ruehnar's AC?
I can look. Give me a second.
He had like scale mail equivalent, right? Elfin chain.
I would
Uh,
assume as a ranger that
16. His AC 16.
Okay. Did 15 get Elvator?
oh heck no.
Okay. And
How much damage does he take?
Ruehnar takes no damage.
Okay.
18 took hit Makuto, right?
I don't know. Let's look at Makuto. Pretty sure 18 probably hit.
Pretty sure 18 hits him.
Yeah, his AC 16.
Okay. Okay. Makuto and Basil both have to make a strength check, otherwise they are grappled.
That's all I can say.
Oh, we'll go with your Makuto. I didn't know you had his character.
Yeah,
sheet
I
up.
have his sheet.
Okay, I got you. And you got
Okay,
to roll
so
your
Makuto,
you got to roll your strength, don't you? You got to roll the damage for all those attacks also.
I do, but first I wanted to check grapple, so let me check
Or
against.
is it a 15? No,
Okay,
did you?
no.
Well, if you roll the attack, it'll put the text up under it. So which
The
one's
attack
hit?
was a vine lash.
Yeah, but which one's hit? The 15?
The 15 and the 22.
Okay, so
If I do this, yeah, that's the damage for that.
yeah.
So Makuto took that damage.
Yep.
10 slashing. And Basil
Took 10
took
slashing.
10 slashing.
And then they have to roll versus the Tiamat strength.
Okay. I need a strength check from Basil. Makuto's wrapped up.
Or you roll a 2.
Yeah, he rolled 2.
You rolled a 2? I didn't see it.
Yeah, yes.
It's in there.
It's in there?
I followed up with a scroll
Oh,
of
I
you
see.
guys.
I see it. Okay. All right. So you're wrapped up.
Yep.
Next on it is well, lizard folks did. So Vykon does not see this. So
I don't know. We're standing on top of this ridge. We are.
no, Vykon's in a mass of stuff where he can't see anything. So he's gonna move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. He's gonna try to cut the vines on Cheetah.
Makuto,
yeah. It says Cheetah on his counter.
Yeah.
I know. He doesn't know how to change it.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. He hits the vines and pretty sure. Yeah, he frees Makuto. Sorry, Basil.
Okay.
You ought to be able to make another attack. You should.
No,
get
he
two.
didn't rage.
I haven't even been able to do my first attack yet. I
Right.
started it, but got
Well,
No,
no.
I do have an extra attack. You're right.
Vykon should be able to make another attack.
You're right. So he will. Oh, yeah, you're free. Thanks to Vykon, he severs your
Damn.
vines.
my attack doesn't require me to be free. That's the thing. Like my attack's still going on.
Oh yeah.
Well, fine then.
I'm a magic user. I don't need my hands to do things. Well, other than the things that require hand movements.
Yeah. Other than somatic material.
Okay. Oh. Vykon's like, aha, and aha again. And who's next? Babar?
Yep. Babar seeing all this will go on, and he's looking around and giving him a sign. No, so he's gonna.
I love it.
Babar says, "Can I attack?
Are we fighting?
Can I fight?"
Yes, Babar, we fight.
Okay, so then Babar is going to reach into his pouch and grab two things of liquid in his hand and start shaking them up as he runs towards the thing as fast as he can. He will run, and actually, I will use a key action to be able to reach this thing. And when I get there, I just throw these 2 bottles of alchemist fire on the ground in front of it, and they do. I got to make a ranged attack with it, so I'll just do the dart attack. 13. Oh no, 8 and a 15. The 15 hits. I'm assuming.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it's 1d4 fire damage.
Okay.
But he hold on, let's see what else it says.
Point of damage.
Well, at the start of each of its turn, the creature can end this damage by using its action to make a DC 10 dexterity check to extinguish the flames. So he's actually, isn't he vulnerable to fire?
Yes.
Okay, so he takes 2 damage.
Okay.
and on the beginning of each of his turns, he takes another D4 worth of damage.
Okay, I hear you.
And that's my action.
All right.
Ruehnar, Mr. Ethan, welcome.
Well,
Thank you.
Hey, welcome, Ethan.
Thanks. Sorry about the delay.
No problem. Where you left off, one of the final lizard men ran off into the jungle, and y'all decided to chase him. And just as you were catching up to him, the giant plant monster decided he wanted to eat the shaman, and then he started attacking the rest of you guys. And that's where we are right now.
Okay.
So, you ever see Little Shop of Horrors?
Yes.
Okay, imagine that.
You see more?
No, Rick, a big Rick Moranis.
No, Audrey too.
Oh,
Yes.
I just remembered Steve Martin as the dentist.
The Babar ran up to him and threw a flask down and crashed a bottle at its base, lighting it on fire at the base of the plant. But as he did that, out of the bushes below it, a second head appeared, like the first.
Oh.
Right, and he is, and a vine is. It has a number of legendary actions, and a vine is going to try to get Babar. I don't think he got
Oh,
to.
but now we fight, right?
Did it hit? Babar? Can't hear you. All right. I'm pretty sure 12 missed you, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Okay. He used a legendary action
Yes.
and tried to get you with a vine. Didn't work. And a second head popped out, by the way. I don't know if you heard that.
No, I didn't. I was away. I was sorry. I was getting a soda.
No problem. Okay. Now, so Ruehnar, what would you like to do?
Oh, I think here,
If we
I
got his name.
think I should be free for arrow shots, right?
Could. And as a bonus action, you get to move your kitty cat too.
Oh, right. So which one first? So I think arrows from Ruehnar, and then Makuto should be. Wait, that's what? Sorry, a second here. Is there a? We're going to move Makuto into melee range. Although I don't know why. There we go. Sorry. Is someone else? That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep.
And then go for 2 arrows for Ruehnar.
You got it.
That should be 20s.
Well, you can.
Well, you click on your longbow on the character sheet where it says longbow.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Damn, my dog needs to come back in. He's gonna stay out for a second.
So long.
Boy. That sucks. I missed my first Alchemist Fire.
Why is it not working? We should be able to cut on longbow, right?
Right.
Okay, that is absolutely not working. Wait.
Click on your token first, and then click on it.
No, you don't have to do that.
No.
I should have the character sheet open, right?
Yep, it should be your character sheet should be open, and
Yep.
then up under where it says your hit points, temporary hit points, hit dice. Then you have your short sword, hand axe, and longbow. You want me to click it for you real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay. You want 2 of them? 1, 2. And then to roll the damage, you just hit longbow on the thing.
Oh, that's all right.
You hit. Oh, nope. There you go.
There we go. Sorry, got it.
Well, that was a much better roll than I had.
I'll take it.
All right. So to roll your damage, you have to go into the chat down here and click the.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Not on
the
On the word longbow.
on the word longbow. You click that, and it'll roll the damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's scroll this down. So longbow.
But make sure you click the one that's got the crit in it because it'll roll crit damage.
Oh, right.
Yep. So he did a lot of damage.
Okay.
22.
12 plus 10, 22. Okay, great.
So and then it's Kitty, and Kitty's next.
12. Yeah. Oh no, wait. Who was that vine lash at me?
I didn't do. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I scrolled up. I was thinking that was a new one.
Not yet.
Okay, so it's a claw attack for Kitty, who has
He should have a character sheet also.
Yeah. I was looking at the special rules for that. Did that hit?
It did hit.
Okay, so if the panther moves at least 20 feet straight to the creature and then hits with a claw attack on the same turn, that target must succeed on a DC 16 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. So to just bear that in mind, as I roll damage for Kitty, did
Damn.
that come up?
Yep.
It's not reading real well. Damage 11 slashing.
Okay.
Okay, so if the target doesn't make its saving throw, I get a bite. Kitty gets a bite attack.
What kind
Let
of
me know.
It's it'd be a strength.
DC 16 strength saving throw.
Oh
Save.
no, he got a 15.
Isn't that what he needed?
No, I thought he needed 16. Is it 16 or 15? 15. Okay.
DC 16.
Okay. It's good.
So then the bite attack goes forward, right?
No. He
Oh no, sorry. I guess ignore that.
Okay.
he made the save.
Oh, it made the save.
All right. He's going to legendary action and try to whip you with his vine. Whip Makuto, that is.
Or Kitty.
Oh,
Nope.
Is it 10 hit?
And the cat's got 16 AC.
Okay. So, whoosh, but he dodges out of the way. And
Be Basil's go.
is Ruehnar doing anything else? Like, do you have any movement left or have a bonus
No,
action? No, you don't have a
fine.
bonus.
No, Ruehnar is actually fine where he is.
Okay. That takes us to Basil.
So I'm gonna dump the acid bottle in its mouth.
Okay. Roll to strike.
I don't even know what the hell to roll for that. So
You make a
Just
melee attack.
just to be 20.
Okay, very nice.
And that's the equivalent of 4 vials of not poison, acid. So that would be 86.
Well,
What?
I thought you just said you were doing a vial. Now all of a sudden, it's
No, I have a bottle. Remember, I said I made a because I have that thing that gives me all the liquids. I bought a bunch of 16-ounce glass bottles that I pre-filled.
All right, hold on a second. Okay. Give me 4d6. Roll 4d6 then.
It would be 8 because it's the equivalent of 4 vials.
Uh-huh. And where do you have that it says it gives you 2d6 per vial?
And here it's let me copy this. I got it from D&D Beyond. And then I figured you want this too.
Okay, cool.
Copy. And boom.
Hold on a second.
Oh.
All right, sorry about that. I just was talking to my wife. Okay, so appreciate the information. So he took what, 30 4 points. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You see that head start reeling back and forth and howling and spitting out or trying to, and the half-eaten shaman goes flying, and it's going to use a final legendary action and lash out, and it's lashing out at the closest person to him, which would be Babar.
Yay!
Yes. I'm sorry. Oh, that's terrible.
That's all right.
Tiamat. And you see a third head pop out.
Yep, that hits me.
20 hits you, huh? Okay. So you take 10 damage slashing and make a strength check.
Oh, damn. I did that the wrong way.
See if
Hold
you're
on.
grappled.
Give me one moment. I got to adjust my hit points first, and then we will give you a strength check. Yeah, I don't. Oh!
All right.
What the hell?
Now there are 3 heads out there, and Babar is wrapped up in vines.
Yep.
Theranos.
Okay, I'm gonna use the spell that I used too earlier.
Speak to animals. Speak to plants.
Stick with plants.
How many times a day can you cast it with that?
I got like charges on my stick. It costs 3 out of 10 charges to use, so up to 3 times.
Okay. All right. So you think you know what to say to this thing? What are you gonna say?
My charisma's pretty high, so I say, "Ancient plant of the forest, we mean you no harm. Please cease your attacks. We may discuss."
Okay.
I'd like an answer, please.
I would like a persuasion roll from yourself.
Not a problem. I always get at least a 4 on these things.
Mm-hmm.
At least a 4.
It's a 14.
All right. Oh no, me hungry. Me hungry. Eat people.
Till 7, 8, 9. Thank you. Come again.
Rise above.
Zoom. Wait. Sorry, wrong way.
I don't know.
So your turn's already over, bro. Not to mention the mage hand was dumping the acid, so it couldn't be doing another thing.
But it's like I thought cantrips could be used multiple times in a turn.
Still, the
Yeah,
mage
I'm
hand
right.
was,
Yeah, but
the mage hand was
you
used
have
for
to.
that attack. So.
Yeah, but you had to use mage hand for.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. So he's like, no, me hungry.
You're hungry. I know where there's 12 fresh corpses available for you. Would that suffice?
Roll persuasion to get an advantage.
Okay.
Oh, you lie, you just don't want to die. I eat you.
What the fuck?
You hear like the plant like saying all kinds of things. You don't have no idea what he's saying. Everybody else, I mean.
Ancient plant. We have the power to destroy you. I'm trying to help you. I will offer you these 10 bodies of lizard men.
Lies. He does another legendary action and does a vine lash at you. It's you.
What the frick?
Roll a strength check.
A plant beast that could do legendary actions.
Mm-hmm.
What the frick are we fighting?
You take 14 slashing, by the way.
Tiamat is what we're fighting.
The Tiamat. That's
Take it
right.
out. Oh,
You heard of
Lord.
Tiamat? This is
Mhm.
Tiamat.
Oh yeah.
No,
The-
that
There's
won't
like
work.
there's actually a triple entendre going on here if you can figure it out. Okay, Theranos, you failed.
It's 14 damage, you said?
Yes, 14 slashing.
Well, I guess that's my turn.
Okay, and are we at the top of the round?
Yep. This
Okay,
elevators
wow.
go.
Elvator.
All right. Well,
You see a vine reach out and just like whip around Theranos, and
yeah.
he's
Mm-hmm.
and so two of your companions are now wrapped up.
Yeah.
Babar
Well,
and Theranos.
Elvator ain't having none of that crap.
Babar, you see one big mouth is going right towards Babar right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to move my hex onto him.
Okay. And the Tiamat.
Yep. And then I will swing my rod upon him with advantage.
You?
20 to hit.
You hit him with your rod.
Perfect.
You?
I
Okay.
shall
Yeah,
now
I-
use the great power of a Chardalon to smite his ass
With your rod?
with my rod.
Is it a
Two
little
smi-
blue pill?
Ooh, that's a nice hit.
How does he do for acid damage?
It's normal.
Okay.
Not the vulnerability to that.
So,
But
yep,
still a
that's
nice hit.
30
30
damage.
Yeah.
That was a really good hit.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's everything.
All right, Tiamat is now engulfing Babar. Babar, you need to make a con save of 12 or higher.
Con save of 12. Where did my
Con save.
Carl? That kills people.
Yep.
All right, you made your con save. You are not paralyzed, but you
Hey.
feel all these teeth like riddling into your body over and over and over as he's just like, just all over you, trying to devour you. And you take,
Well, he got to make an attack first.
no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
just
it
gets
was automatic.
No, he just gets advantage on it,
Oh, okay.
which still misses.
I misses. Well, he tries to engulf you.
Yeah.
You manage to. Well, you're grappled, so
Yeah.
aren't you at disadvantage?
Yeah. Well, that's why you had advantage.
Grapple
on the
just
attack.
means that he has 0 movement.
Yeah, I just can't move.
All right.
So
Babar doesn't
basically,
want to move.
yeah, he
was
just
trying
tried.
to pull you, but you're just so big and heavy and resisting that he's he's not able to pull you into his maw. All right. But he still has other vines doing other things.
Yep.
One of them is going to lash at Elvator, another at Theranos, and another at Vykon. In that order.
And I think on his and he takes D4 fire damage this round, at the beginning of his turn. So he takes 4 damage.
Elvator, he hits you with a crit.
Oh. Well, a crit will definitely hit.
Ooh,
Yep.
You took 20 slashing.
So Elvator is downed.
Oh.
And grappled.
And grappled. Ooh.
Okay. And
Oh, now there's an attack I can do now.
the Theranos is hit again. Taking 11 slashing. Give me a strength check, Theranos. See if you get grappled. Oh my god, this thing's nasty.
Yeah.
TBK before the actual adventure begins.
All right, you're grappled. Yeah, you're wrapped up. And the last one missed Vykon.
It's Vykon's turn.
Vykon's turn. All right, he is charging. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So if we hit those vines, it doesn't hurt the plant.
It does. No, I've been taking damage off. It was only done once, and I took damage off of him for that.
Well, yeah, Vykon hit the vines at the very beginning.
Yeah, he took the damage for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is going to do one attack to try to free Theranos, and the second one to try to free Babar. It's in both cases. Theranos is free. As is Babar. 26. Elvator, unfortunately, he's not. And who is next?
Me.
Yes.
I will, since I'm being grabbed and I'm
You
already
see Elvator being pulled into one of the
Oh.
maws.
So I will. I will risk an attack of opportunity and step back 10 feet.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me your attack of opportunity.
Of course.
That hits, but not an advantage because.
Yeah, that was.
So it's just
So
a
it's
9
just
damage.
9. Nip on the crit fix.
And then I'm gonna run in, doing charger damage and use a key point. So I'll be down 2 points this round, and do an unarmed strike. So that'll be 4 unarmed strikes. 1 miss, 2 hits, 3 miss, 4 hits. So that one, which would be 9 damage. Oh, 9 plus 5, so it'll be 14 damage. And then the second one, so 20 damage.
Okay.
I don't have a slashing weapon, so I can't actually free.
What about your kukri?
That's piercing. No, it says slashing, but it's not. It's piercing. I don't have a kukri. I've got a kunai chain, which is a giant dart on the end of a chain.
Okay.
I never
kunai.
use.
All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, so basically I just went up there and just gut punched this thing 4 times. So wham, 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 wham. And missed him twice.
Why did you back up to do that?
Because if I move more than 10 feet in a square, I get the charger damage, which was that 5 extra damage on my first attack.
Okay. And who's next? Ruehnar?
Yes. So I think if we can, we're going to close. And use the 2 weapons.
You are next to Basil. You might be able to free him if that's an option for you. If you don't,
I'm sorry?
You have the option of freeing Basil because you're right next to him.
I thought someone already freed me.
Oh, gotcha. Actually, that's a good idea. This is right. We would actually be freeing Basil if that's possible. I think that would be my moves. Would be to free
but you can still attack though. It'll do the damage as you free.
You'd have to cut his vines, so with a sword of some sort. Yeah.
Right. So it'd be sword or axe.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Give me a second.
Of course, if you roll a 1, you hit Basil. That was Makuto.
Thanks.
Is it? Oh, sorry. That was Makuto?
Yeah.
It should
have. When it's green like that, that means you roll an crit.
Only that was
okay.
Makuto.
No, that was
the not lying can't use the sword.
With short sword.
No, he's got his
name off. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his name showing as Makuto. He rolled a short sword from his.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I could switch them back and forth, but like.
Yeah.
So in the chat, so short sword 7+2 piercing.
Okay, perfect cut. You did the minimum damage needed to cut the vines off of him, so he is free.
Thank you.
Okay.
You should be able to
welcome.
Attack.
And then the second one would be hand axe. Correct?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Who you hitting with a hand axe? If you're going to use the hand axe, you're going to have to move up to the monster.
Right. No, that was the idea. I'm just having a hard time with.
I'll move you. I got you.
Thanks.
Right in front of it. I have an area effect spell. I'm going to blow off behind it.
Okay, that is a hit.
And Makuto still gets to go.
And then
technically, you're flanking. No, actually, no, you're not because Elvator's out. But he takes the 4 slashing. And it is Basil's turn.
Well, the mountain lion.
Makuto.
Oh, the mountain lion.
Yeah.
Which should be able to just straight fight.
Oh.
That missed.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now it's Basil.
Yeah. Actually, Basil.
Okay. So I am going to cast Shatter. Well, actually, let me ask you a gaming mechanics question for once. If I cast an area effect spell and it hits Elvator, because he's already down, it's not going to cause him any negative effects because he hasn't even had a roll yet, correct?
No, he automatically fails two saving throws if you hit him.
Yeah, you'll kill him probably.
No,
yeah.
It depends on how much damage I take. I automatically take 1 for taking any damage at all.
You not to kill him.
I thought you failed 2 saving throws if you take a hit.
Here's the thing.
It depends on how much damage you take.
Hold on, guys. What a school of magic is Basil?
Enchanting.
You have anything like where you can control that the
I
spell
have to get
doesn't-
within 5. You control what?
where a person in the area effect of the spell isn't hurt by it. I forget what that's called.
Hypnotic pattern? I can't. I
No.
already cast it all.
No,
That's
no,
a spell.
no.
It's
You're
like
talking about that's for
the Wizards of Evocation.
Yes, evocation wizards. Yeah.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Evocation Wizards
Well,
can control. Like
I've got a plan B. I just need to pull it up. Give me
Okay.
1 second.
All right.
Oh, how big is that?
Well, it says that any attack made to a down creature is automatic critical hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says a creature that suffers a critical hit while if an unconscious character takes damage while at 0 hit points, they automatically fail 1 death saving throw or 2 death saves if it's from a critical hit. So, I mean, I don't see how you would just get 1 death save at all.
It's okay. I'm actually going to cast Ray of Frost.
Okay.
I'm going to use my wizard hat, which I have to make an Arcana check. And if I make it, I can cast once a day, I can cast any cantrip I want. So let me make an Arcana check and see if it'll work.
Is this a magic item you bought recently?
Yeah. It's a stupid hat I put on. Remember I said I took off my deersucker hat and I put on a stupid wizard hat and I look embarrassed? That's why I put it on.
Okay.
They make it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on him. I'm assuming he's weak to frost because he's a plant. So 16 points of damage straight.
16,
Oh, shit. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to try to grab the shaman staff with mage hand. In case it's magical. I figure we have a druid who might want to use it.
Okay. Ray of Frost. So you send a ray of cold towards him. It looks like a bunch of it's like a big white lizard goes towards him, and almost like a fire extinguisher. And he's covered in a layer of snow. At least one of his maws are the one that you put poison in before. And he takes the damage, and we're in Theranos.
Okay. So I personally have damaged 50 points of damage to one head. And it's still going.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the mighty Tiamat. You're the one who didn't want to take a long rest.
After this super long rest.
Can anybody else hear Ramon?
I can't even.
Ramon, can you speak, Ramon?
It's your turn, Ramon. Are you there?
Howlings are terrible. Okay, if he didn't answer that, he can't talk.
Ramon!
Come on, Lorax, you speak to the
All right,
tree.
I'm on mute. I know it's my turn.
They'll do that every time.
Okay, so everybody's too close for a lightning bolt because it's a 5-foot line straight through.
Well, you can move. You can move up a couple of squares.
I can move here, and I'm gonna lightning bolt him.
Nice.
Because I can do that.
Do I have to do a DC check on that? Put it
Yes,
up there so I can see.
it's a dexterity check.
It'll say
8d6.
All right, yeah, dexterity saving throw.
For
Guess we're getting things tonight.
5. He failed his dex throw. So,
Eight.
boom. Well, 8d6.
I'm about to. It's 8d6 plus 2 actually, because I'm using the. I'm holding the wand.
Nice.
Just give me a sec here. 8d6 plus 2.
Was that a druid spell that you knew, or was it multiplying lightning bolts? Ooh, nice damage roll.
39.
All right, that's a good hit.
If there's any flammable objects in the area, they will go on. They will ignite. Right. Okay.
Well, it looks like we're in a dried riverbed, so I don't think.
No, you're in a jungle. The misty area just means that there's a lot of fog there, but you're in a bunch of foliage around there too.
But there's a fog on the line who's gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, I'm setting the forest on fire.
Okay.
Elvator, yay! He made a death save.
Actually,
Theranos, is that on fire? Worst druid ever.
Elvator's now in Mount Elvator. Let's see. You've been engulfed.
Do I automatically get hit? Well, I don't think I automatically get hit. If I get hit, then it's an automatic crit. If I get hit by a weapon attack or a ranged attack, then it's an automatic crit. But I did not get hit by that. Yeah, I know, but you still have to pass. Yeah, 16 doesn't pass my AC.
Oh, okay. It's
My
finding
AC
it
is
hard
19.
to lift you because your armor is so heavy.
So freaking heavy, I know. Stupid, like,
That's what he tried to do.
freakishly weak plant. Like, if you're gonna eat somebody, like, do it right.
Okay.
All right.
And
Now it's Tiamat's turn to try and hurt me again.
Can you make your death save?
Yeah, I passed my death save.
Okay.
That's 1 out of 3.
All right. So he's gonna try it again. Yeah, that time you go in his mouth.
Don't.
Damage on that.
It doesn't really matter how much damage you do. He takes 2 death saves. He's got to make 2 deaths. I mean, he fails 2 death saves.
Uh-oh.
Do we have a healer?
We have a shaman.
Nobody's a shaman.
The ranger can heal.
Can't Theranos?
Oh, it's druid or the ranger should have some. I have medicinal.
So is that all that the Tiamat's going to do, or?
Yeah, that's all he's doing.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. That's all he's doing at Elvator. He is going to try to get Babar and Ruehnar and Vykon in vine attacks. In that order. Okay.
So Babar's 24. Yeah, that hits Babar.
No, Babar was the first one. 8.
Oh, 8 does not hit Babar.
Ruehnar gets hit by a vine. Takes 8 slashing, and you got to make a strength check, or you will be grappled by the vines. You can probably beat that, though.
Let's hope so.
And Vykon, that did not beat his armor class. But Vykon did not get hit. So Ruehnar, make a strength check.
And it'll be Vykon's go.
Yeah, upper left hand side.
All right, while I'm waiting for you to do that, Vykon's going to charge and rage and go at him
Did
with
you
his great.
find it, Ethan?
Huh?
Yeah.
All right,
Attack
that's
3
3
times?
hits.
Oh, and since he started his turn, he without trying to put himself out, he also takes 4 more damage.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Slightly. All right, yeah. So Vykon runs in raging, and he just like starts bashing each of the maws. Elvator drops out of one of them, and the plant dies, screaming.
Screaming?
Yeah.
That's good. My next plan was a gallon of oil, so that's probably a good thing.
So Elvator drops out of his mouth onto the ground, taking a D6 falling damage. No, I'm kidding.
1d6 death saves auto fail.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Hold my staff high and I say FAFO.
In short, the plants eat you.
What happens when you fuck around and find out?
Oh, yeah.
FAFO.
Let me
Elvator
see.
Came so close.
I don't have it. Well, I don't have any more
Now
alchemist
he's
fire.
really not going to like trees.
Wait, who hated trees? I can't remember.
Elvator. I
All
don't have
right.
any.
He's gonna become a vegetarian just to punish all plant life.
I don't have anything that can bring Elvator back. If anybody else does.
Well,
Don't we have a? Don't we have? Come on, doesn't somebody have healing?
Elvator did.
Crap.
I can do herbs.
Didn't somebody have healing potions? Or do we have some in our party fund?
Elvator
I did.
Did we use them all?
I have 2 healing potions.
Perhaps one should be given to Alvator so he doesn't die.
Okay.
You can probably charge him for it.
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. So,
Can I realize this loot icon is still full. Should I clear this out? Did we all already? There's a loot thing in Roll20 under the chat, like our party loot thing. Did we all get our money out of this? I can delete this now, right? The robe rainbow and the herbal kit. And...
No, leave it there. Don't delete anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll the healing that you gave him, whatever that may be.
I don't know what they are. They're like mid-level healing potions I got from the vampires.
Okay. So roll the D8.
D8.
Yeah. You said they're
And
mid
another
level?
one. What's that?
You said they're mid level?
They should be 4d4.
Okay.
44
Right.
plus 4.
Okay, I roll 44 then.
Okay. I thought it was like a cure light wounds.
No, it's 44 plus 4. Hold on, I'll be right back.
No bonuses.
10 points. All
10
right,
points.
Elvator, you wake up to the feeling of a warm liquid going down your gullet, and like you're drinking some kind of whiskey. Tastes pretty rank too. And you see Theranos holding you as he's basically had just finished pouring a potion into your mouth.
There, brother. There.
You like that so much you want to be eaten by one.
Okay. While you're like in the area, you
Oi.
see a lot of like bones of various other animals that this plant has eaten.
I got a question. How terrible is this shaman that the giant monster in the jungle he lives in, he didn't know it lived there?
Well, he was running in a frenzy away from like you guys, so he got caught.
I've been scared, but I've never run into the south side.
Yeah. Ordinarily, with his party, that he would know how to, get away from.
Maybe
that
you
thing.
killed his ranger.
Is Elvator back up yet?
Yeah, we gave you. Well, you got to roll.
Oh, you
for-
didn't hear the description? All right, sorry. Theranos woke you up. You felt a warm liquid going down your gullet,
Oh, lovely.
and it tasted like garbage. It was horrible
course it
and
did.
rank, but it brought you back to life.
It's Theranos.
Yes, Theranos. He's holding you. He said, there, brother."
Yikes. Saved by Theranos. I'll have to beg forgiveness from a Shardalon. Yeah. And then I shall heal myself for another 10 HP with Lay on Hands.
Okay. So you lay your hands on yourself
Mm-hmm.
in special places, and
Not the first time.
You know,
What are you?
usually it's in
Steve?
private, but, desperate times. Call for desperate measures.
Makuto comes up to you, Ruehnar, and he's got a bunch of thorns and stuff and slashes in him, and was it a he or she? I forgot.
The panther.
Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a boy or a girl?
I don't know.
Ethan, are you there?
Yes. Makuto is a girl.
A girl?
Yeah,
Yes?
he said a girl.
Toes a girl.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Makuto is a girl.
she's whining a bit and she's licking some wounds, but she's very hurt. But she's lost about a third of her health. She's bleeding.
Oh, Makuto's hurt?
Oh yeah. He took a couple of slashes from the vines.
I guess the idea would be to use medicinal skills. Hold on, come on.
Yeah,
So I
you can
have
stop the bleeding, ease the pain. That won't necessarily give her any hit points back. I don't think.
that's fine. But I guess I do have points in what would be, I guess, nature medicine.
Okay.
So medicinal skills, I guess I'm just gonna roll it
Okay.
to whatever that does.
Okay. So you start binding her wounds, applying some medical salves to the slashes. And Makuto's comforted.
Oh, good kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Theranos and Basil both came close to dying yourselves. You're not feeling
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm only sitting. I'm looking for a warm place, a dry place without blood, acid, or flames on it to sit down and rest. Long rest.
Okay.
Are we taking a long rest?
You want to try to camp where you
Yes,
guys
we're
are?
taking a long rest.
yeah, I
Okay.
think we all need a long rest here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put into my ring magic missile and
So long rest we get 4
Ruehnar's the only one untouched.
and I will get my key points back.
Okay, so you guys camp and rest, and while you are resting and licking your wounds, go ahead and adjust your hit points as necessary. Spells, whatever it is you got to do, and
So Kriya should be along any minute now.
yeah, Kriya's there by now, and so if there's anything you want to discuss with each other, let me know. Otherwise, we'll move on to when the rest is over.
Babar will start setting up a hammock in Korea
Okay.
to take his long rest.
And I guess
Go ahead.
I was going to say Makuto, of course, will sleep on Kriya because they have such a good relationship.
Kriya's like, okay, why is everybody sleeping on me?
It's fine, Kriya. We appreciate your contribution to our battles. You're strong, you're mighty, you're with us.
You're just slow as shit.
Hey, Elvator, do you have any lay on hands left?
Well, before or after we do the spell? After we did the long rest.
Before.
I had 5 hit points before we did the long rest.
Hmm.
So
I mean, do you have any left? I'm just asking.
Oh yeah, I had 5 left before we did the long rest.
Could you do a lay on hands to me? Because I was down to just 5 hit points also.
Yeah, but you're gonna get all your hit
But we're gonna
points
get
back.
all of the hit points back with the
and
long rest.
You don't roll hit dice back? Or do you get them all? You automatically get them all?
Automatically get them all.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
You get you only on a long rest you get, I believe, half of your player level in hit dice back.
Mm-hmm.
On a long rest. Rounded up, I believe. So at 5th level we'd get 3 hit dice back.
Okay. On a long rest.
Yes, on a long rest.
Okay, then I'm at 12 hit points then.
Okay, and
After the long
Ruehnar
rest.
Sorry.
If I'm getting 3 hit dice back, and I rolled 3 hit dice, and there were 7
No.
points I
You
got
get
back?
3 hit dice back to use on the next long rest. But
Oh,
at the
gotcha.
long rest, you get full hit points. You get all your hit points
Gotcha.
back, and you get all your spell slots back.
Oh, okay.
Long rests are... Yeah. There's a reason that you usually can only do them at very specific intervals.
And I was about to say, actually, Ruehnar also has, I guess, the Ranger version of Cure Wounds, which would be used particularly on Kitty Cat first, and then whomever else needs.
Well, you don't have to do that because the cat would be taking a long rest also.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure, like whether that changes time or anything.
Yep.
Okay. No. All right. So.
Sorry, it's like Gold Box D&D. I guess what they call it.
Basil.
Mm-hmm.
The staff that you took from the shaman is long, twisted, natural wooden staff, and it had a big shard of amber at the tip of it,
Mm-hmm.
which he was using as a spell focus. But other than that, there's no magic.
Gotcha. Okay. It has no real value then, right?
No, amber definitely has some value, so you can get it appraised, or take it somewhere and see how much you can get for it.
Well, at this point, I'm going to be using. I'm also going to grab about 5 10-pound rocks as we're walking to Shamalama Ding Dong, so I can use Mage Hand to drop it on things looking for traps. So I can also use this if we have to.
Okay. So are you going to investigate the immediate area for try to find some rocks?
With Babar,
What? What about me?
come help. I'm looking for rocks. I'm also using. I'm gonna Mage Hand a staff in front of me, trying to hit the ground looking for rocks.
Okay.
I'm not paranoid, but I know Matt's out to get me.
Hmm.
Give me an investigation roll.
Paranoia.
I'm really bad at this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible.
30? You found as
Yeah,
many
30.
rocks. You found as many as you wanted to find.
Okay. Cool. And I'm putting these in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Did I find anything else around the chia mat?
Just as I said before, a bunch of bones of animals, but that's about it.
But no valuables, nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
Most of the denizens, sentient denizens of jungle know how to avoid creatures like this. Normally.
It's worth a try.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody doing anything else during the rest?
No.
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 Aside from
Okay.
sleeping, healing wounds, and shoving spells into my spell storing ring as fast as possible.
Okay. All right. So you continue on the next morning. You eat some food. And before you head out, is there anything you're doing with the scene where you guys are right now?
Don't think so. Like, just make sure that the corpses are properly burned, and as well as the vine, so that we
Okay.
don't spread disease and potentially have this thing
Okay.
rise from the grave.
Okay. All right. Who knows what little seedlings might
Exactly. Burn
might
all
result.
plants. Burn all plants.
Okay. While you're doing that, Kriya seems very disturbed.
Don't care.
Theranos Kriya hides behind you while Vykon is lighting up the carcass of the Tiamat and laughing maniacally.
Oh, Elvator's laughing with
My
him
daily, I
and
pour my
chanting
daily
kill
dose of
all
oil
plants.
from the thing to help him the little pyromania.
Woo!
Yeah. I meant to say Elvator was laughing maniacally. Did I say Vykon? Okay. So, Theranos, are you fine with that? Are you muted again? Yes, he is. You're muted, Ramon. So,
Yeah,
He's
I'm
trying
gonna
to persuade me.
I want to try to persuade Kriya, actually.
what are you going to try to persuade her?
That plant was evil, and good plants will survive. But that plant was evil.
Okay. She takes your word for it. That's high enough. It's like, okay, yes, master. I understand.
He's lying to you.
I noticed it did try to eat you.
Yes, that did happen.
All right. So, unless there's anything else, you guys head out?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
On the road again.
I definitely have a song in my head. We are the best of friends.
Let's take like a 10-minute break. I'm gonna read something and then we'll start up again.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Okay. You guys,
All right,
10.
back into-
All right. Nope. Who left? Oh. He just left. What the fuck is it showing me a sander for? I'm looking for LED lights. Hmm. Damn it, dog. I just let you back out.
Okay. I think that encounter went okay. Took a lot of damage, but we took it down.
Yeah, that didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty exciting.
A lot of attacks.
Yeah,
Those legendary attacks are not good.
the legendary actions.
They're game changers.
Well, that's in a game like this where action economy is when you're playing against 5 creatures, 5 other people, and you only have one big bad boss. That's the only way to give him the equal things out.
Yeah.
Look at what you guys did to the baby black dragon in the last game.
I don't even remember what we do to it.
Exactly. You don't even remember fighting him. Like you guys whomped the crap out of him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You
It was basically that one attack where he tried
I
to
got one attack
acidify
on
us
you,
all, and
yeah,
then we
and then,
just
like-
raped him.
Exactly. It was brutal, and he did a lot of damage. You really messed you guys up.
Yeah. He nearly. I
Yeah,
think
he-
there was only like 2 of us that were left standing after the first barrage.
Yeah.
But because his acid breath didn't recharge, he was hooped.
Yep.
Yeah, I find it. You usually have to tweak the creatures a little bit on these games according to your team.
And
Mhm.
honestly, I probably, if I was more familiar when I started out, I probably would have. I tweaked the orcs a little bit. Like
Yeah.
basically the way the modulars run in the last module is they were all static creatures. I'm like, no, they're gonna operate as a cohesive unit,
Yeah.
and that's how you guys wound up in that monster mash in the caves.
Yep.
But it was a near run thing too. Like you guys took just long enough for them to get organized.
Yep.
And even then, people were still coming in as you were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon, I wasn't sure how to nerf him up a little bit, so I let him go as he was.
Just waiting on Ethan to get back.
Hey Matt, how's the weather in Orlando in January? Do you know, like North Florida at all? Usually decent.
If it's anything like South Carolina, it could be anywhere from 70 degrees to 22 degrees.
Ah, yeah.
Well,
It's like you.
it's going to be between 50s and 70s.
Okay.
I don't know. You can roll a dice in the South sometimes.
Well, that's 2 weeks ago. It was colder here in Texas than Chicago.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
it was in.
Yeah, it's not right now.
It was 30 degrees about 4 days ago here. Like
You don't
and
want to
then
know how
down
cold
here,
it was.
it's
You don't want to know
Well-
how cold it was here yesterday.
yeah, but today is 65. No, it was 68 today.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It'll be
so
81 here. 81 here next week. But yeah, it was cold as hell the other day here.
yeah.
What is
exactly.
cold as hell?
Raining and 40.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Subtract that number by
you
80
choose
and you
to-
have cold as hell for us.
But a lot of us are from Chicago, so like we awful. I remember the 20 below month. Okay,
Oh
Yeah, but
my cousins came from Austria and they were like, "This is cold." I'm like, "You live on a mountain, yeah, but it's not this cold there."
Yeah. Well, it's humid.
You have to remember the winter of '79, where in Plainfield it got to -80 with the wind chill.
What?
But-
So yeah, Chicago. Remember lake effect, so you get this really weird wind patterns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yep, -80 with the wind effect.
Actually,
That's ridiculous.
if you really ever see something funny, I saw a weather pattern and they superimpose like they put Chicago wind conditions over Wrigley Field and in Wrigley Field, and the wind just sort of comes in and whips around like a blender. Like that's why some weird stuff happens during Cubs games occasionally. It's still better than Buffalo.
Well, yes, it does. As for other minor league baseball games. Sorry, I'm a fan of the other team.
At least it's not with at least none of us live in Buffalo with double lake effect.
Right.
Hmm?
There was a time where it's like, so Chicago's bad, but I remember going to a wedding. It was in like November, December, whatever it was, but it was in Valparaiso, Indiana. So I had to go. So from Chicago, I got picked up in my office downtown to go to this wedding that was supposed to be 45 minutes away. And so we had like some sprinkles of snow when I was getting in the car. 6 hours later, we get out because it was going right through a snow belt, like underneath the lake.
Wow.
And so it was like a couple flakes in Chicago was 6 feet, or sorry, 4 feet by the time I got out of that car.
Crazy.
Lake effect is no joke, and it's Buffalo. I think it was it last weekend they canceled the Bills game, moved it to Detroit because they were expecting 6+ feet of snow in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a girl. She grew up there, and the only thing that didn't close down in those days were the liquor stores.
Priorities, baby.
Right.
Well, college time, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's
so
finish
you
this.
You guys, over the next 3 days or so, you have similar encounters in the forest with carnivorous plants and other lizard men. But you managed to get through it all. Nothing that was bad as the chia mat. Eventually, you're getting to a region where you start seeing in the jungle different obvious ruins from like what must have been the ancient civilization of that had the temple that you're headed towards, and as the elevation starts to shift and start to go up, you see what at first looks like the top of a very large hill or a small mountain. Then you realize that there's stone under it in various places, and it's where the vegetation has actually grown over a pyramid. As you head toward the pyramid, obviously this must be where the temple is that you guys were headed for. You tread over across cracked and overgrown flagstones, and you're stepping over fallen and shattered pillars. You have to push aside vines and briars, sometimes even cutting them with your blades to get them out of the way. When you're nearly at the temple, the sound of a large number of creatures crashing through the underbrush comes from behind you. And you turn around to see it must be hundreds of some sort of humanoids rushing in your direction between you and this overgrown pyramid. And then suddenly the earth shudders and gapes open beneath your feet, and you're falling amid the roar of collapsing masonry. Dust fills the air, and the sunlight disappears as the darkness swallows you. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fire torch.
All right. After a moment of being shaken, you guys wake up or shake off being stunned from the fall and everything, and find yourselves in with the low level of light that's in here. You're in a long, narrow chamber, and in the center of the chamber is a dome shape on the floor, and in the wall directly ahead, beyond the dome shape on the floor, there is a blank-faced stone door. And behind you and above you, it's all collapsed, fallen stone and rubble. On the walls to each side of you appear to have several alcoves cut into them. Now, the shape in the center of the chamber appears to be a small alcove protected by a half dome, with the open end facing toward the door ahead of you. And the alcove sits in a recessed, shallow tiled wall, 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. Ryan, can you move us to that first part of the map?
Oh.
So I'm describing it, but it's a little bit easier when you can see it.
All right. What is it called? Is it?
The lower chambers in first tier,
All right.
and the room is, I believe, number 1.
Give me a second. It's
Okay.
loading in. Loading. I don't know if anybody else got dropped there. Did everybody else get dropped there? Black map, maybe?
It's all
Right answer.
darkness to me.
Yep. Give me a second. I'm loading in.
It's all Greek to me.
Couscous is aqua.
Appreciated Matt's description. It was bringing it to life.
Oh my!
Exactly like the place that this party would bring me to. Seriously.
And
Roll 20 is not responding. Give me a minute.
no, I was going to say roll revolution of it. It's thinking.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for it to load up, basically you're in a big rectangular room, right, with kind of like some kind of weird dome in the center of the room. On each side of you are 3 alcoves, so there's a total of 6 alcoves along the side walls. And each of those alcoves have some kind of pieces of artwork and stuff in them. You'd have to get closer to inspect them, and maybe also call up some light in the room to be able to see details. There's only like small little pokes of light poking through the collapsed rubble behind you. The floor, the ceiling are dark. You can't really see much at the opposite end of the room, other than the
Putting on my
door.
goggles. I'm gonna put on my night owl goggles.
Okay.
Yep. So I will drop everybody's character as soon as mine loads. So you have to give me
Or
a second.
goggles of night, rather.
What area of the map are we in?
Well, I can't tell you.
Well,
I
okay.
can't tell you.
Can Matt ping where our characters are supposed to be dropped?
No, because my map's not loaded.
Oh,
Should we all hop out and hop back into roll 20?
No, it's just mine. Just
yeah.
it loaded up while
Oh,
I could,
Ryan.
but yeah, shitty computer.
Yep. If only you built one.
Yeah.
Which is
This one
getting
was-
cheaper, actually.
Yeah, I'm waiting on it to get real cheaper. So it's loading the map, but everything's just completely white.
Oh. It's loaded everything for me, but everything is black because I'm not on the map yet.
Yep, you gonna have to just give me a second.
Give me a second, boys.
Let's see if closing some extra pages will help close Babar's character sheet.
Oh, hey, Ramon, you still on?
I tell you what, I'll fucking close everything. I'll be right back. Log in. Portal. Launch game. Please load. Maybe not. Oh, we got something this time. Okay, so we're gonna be in room 1. I have to scroll out because I don't know where room 1 is. Oh, there it is. All right. Can every hold on? This isn't right. Something moved the map. Looks like the map's not centered though. Okay, that should be centered right there. Nope. Whoever made this map didn't center it correctly. We're just gonna do it like that.
Everybody should be in room number 1.
Yeah. So everybody drop your characters here. Oh, nope. Oh, hold on. This fucked up even worse.
Where the blue circle is?
Yeah.
Right
Or
there.
the red
Okay.
circle? It keeps
Yeah.
moving.
Anywhere in there.
I can't see anything, but I'm there.
Well, yeah, it's
All right.
dark.
Yeah. Vykon's
I got my
there.
goggles on.
I'm there. Babar is crossed out, but he's there.
Man, this thing is fucking with me.
Yep.
Well, I'm there. So yeah, and I'll give what's his name, the gargles,
Goggles
the
of night.
the gargoyles of night. Oh no, I won't, because it just fucking zonked out on me again. I hate this fucking computer. Let's try
Yeah.
it.
Now there's some light, right?
It's night vision.
Basil, you could help the other people with dancing lights, you know.
Yeah, I could. I
I
thought
could.
everyone had night vision.
Not Vykon.
Oh, okay. I'll throw up dancing lights.
Babar
then.
does not have night vision. Vykon does not have night vision. I don't think you have night vision. I have night vision.
I have
Okay.
night vision.
And then I think Theranos has night vision.
So
Yeah, I'll cast dancing lights.
Basil has magic goggles that help him
Mm.
Yeah,
in the night.
you know, magic shit dependent.
Yeah.
So I'll cast dancing lights and then
Okay.
put on my night goggles just in case. Have them ready to flip out my eyes.
All right. As you put up the lights, you see in the side alcoves where I told you there was like little pieces of artwork, are like little dioramas depicting a hunting party of warriors in one, and other commoners farming in another one. Similar things like that. Um, each diorama is some aspect of tribal life of an ancient civilization. They got like little 6-inch tall figurines that appear to be made out of some kind of clay or stone. At least that's what you can tell from a distance, anyway, without looking at them up close. The scenes portrayed represent like fishing and farming and religion,
Mhm.
warfare, creation story, and crafting. But obviously, the way that you came from is completely blocked by a lot of rubble, and it looks like more rubble is continuing to like sink in, every now and then.
I'm gonna whip out my after I cast Mage Light. I'm gonna whip out my magnifying glass and start
Okay.
going over that to see if I know because I added 20 learning the language. I'm gonna see if I can notice anything, any hidden meanings in there, anything at all special, anything secretive, detectable, anything that moves, budges, anything like that at all.
Okay. Well, as you're looking at the different little scenes and stuff like that, um, some of them have like little pieces of um, even jade and gold, on some of the little figurines. Um, and they're very well painted and crafted. But you don't see anything like of any language, anything written. It's all like a visual presentation.
Okay, and it's not the jade and gold. It's not something I can acquire. It's embedded in the wall.
No, I said they're on the little figurines.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
check the
just what-
figurines.
Like you'll
Check
see
the
each of the little alcoves are labeled A through F. So
we
if you
can't
approach
we
this-
can't see
I can't see anything.
we can't see the
It's all black.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
you still can't see anything?
All I see is black.
Hold on.
if anybody can't see, please say so that can be corrected.
Raise your hand.
I'll start. I'm gonna examine the little figurines and see if there's anything odd about them. And if there is not, I'll start touching them. See if there's any. I don't know, switches.
Okay, roll an
You know,
investigation.
you get the whole. You get the turn the candlestick doohickey in the old mansion type deal.
Can you see now, Basil?
Yes, I can.
So, does anybody have a torch to light? That's
I did. I cast Mage Light.
Okay. Each of these little diorama scenes are very specific. You have to like put your token next to whichever one you're looking at.
I'm gonna go this one.
Okay.
That'll be the first one.
Okay.
I'll
That
pick
one-
it up. I'll play with it.
Let me tell you what it looks like, and then you can tell me what you do.
Okay.
All right. In that alcove, up about waist high, it's like kind of like a shelf, right? And then on the shelf is a little scene. It's kind of like when you go to the museum and you see the little miniatures in the field museum, like that. So you get a scene of actually that looks like a scene of tribal warfare, and you count them, and there's about 20 tribal warriors in combat. 10 warriors of one side are painted in black, while 10 on the others are done in red. The warriors that are no, they just look like they're trying to vanquish each other, but that's pretty much it.
Anything special about them? Do they stand out in any way?
Other than what I said, there's no other information.
Okay. I tried moving them around, see if anything happens.
Okay. So you just like pick one up and like play
Yeah.
with it like here. Okay.
Yeah. I'll look on the bottom, see if they're hollow, see if there's something in there.
Okay. One moment.
And you die.
Hmm.
All right. So you look at it, look in the bottom of it, you turn it around. Nothing seems to be unusual about it.
Okay, and that's the whole. And it's all the little figures. Like, I'll whip out my magnifying glass so I have advantage on looking at all this stuff, and just I roll a 22 for that one, so then I'll go into the next one as soon as I know it's empty or doesn't have any value.
Okay.
I'll go on to this one.
So you look at a couple of figurines. After you're done looking at them, you put them back where they were. What do you take them with you? What happens?
No, I think we're gonna take them with us.
Okay.
I'm not leaving
So-
anything for these scumbag vampires.
Hmm.
You're gonna take all 20 little figurines?
Yeah, we have a bag of holding.
Okay, so you're gonna throw them in the bag of holding?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll make sure there's nothing. I want to make sure they're not gonna break.
Okay, go back to
So
where
is-
you were. That was your turn.
Okay.
Go back to the other one. All right.
Okay.
Anybody else? What are you guys doing?
Babar's not touching anything.
Okay.
No, he's over there.
Vykon's gonna come over here and look at this thing in the middle. Oh man, why is my doing
am I running Vykon, or do you want me to run Vykon, or?
that? Yeah, I tried to move the Vykon token. All of a sudden, the map was just like freaking out and moving with.
Yeah, he actually disappeared.
You're probably on the map layer.
There's like 3, 4.
Vykons.
Yeah, let me delete the extra ones.
Everyone has Vykon.
That's why we have antibiotics now.
That's
He's
why we
looking at
have
this.
antibiotics, because can't all be barbarians.
All right.
Well, we can't. If you catch Vykon, I mean,
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing? Vykon's just like taking a look at this dome thing.
oh,
and
I'm all
seeing-
black again. The world's all blacked out now.
Wow, racist. Yeah.
This is nothing to do with either the species or whatever the new term that D&D is using. This is just I can't see anything.
Races of lesser intelligence.
The light went out.
Ryan, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the light went out. Nobody can see.
Well, okay, who can't see?
Well, I can see.
I can't.
What?
Okay, move your
kinda-
token then. Sometimes if you leave your token in one place too long, if you move it, you can see again.
Weird. Okay, that's
Yeah,
new to me.
it is
Okay.
weird.
Yeah. So that's my turn.
Yeah.
Vykon's over here looking at this thing.
Yeah, what are you guys
Yeah.
doing?
Elvator is gonna divine sense next to this door.
Okay. Nothing odd is. You don't detect anything.
No.
Well,
no.
what's the range on that?
I believe it is 90 feet.
Okay. Let me correct that. You do sense something.
Well, okay, is it like it has to be evil or great good?
You know which?
Yeah, I would know whether if it's evil, then to me, it's like a wonderful, sweet smell and heavenly music. And then if it's good, then it is kind of a putrid stench.
You do have good vibrations
Okay.
in that direction.
All right. Well, then you're like, hey guys, something evil is over here. Let's go. Sounds like exactly what we need to satisfy our vampire lords.
Let's not have a repeat of the last place we went. Let's actually examine everything.
Fine.
All right. What does everybody else do?
I'm with you, fellas.
Is anybody else bothering to look at the little alcoves and artistic setups?
General.
What the frick was that?
Was that Ethan?
General inspection.
Okay.
Inspection?
Okay. Well, you just see like little figurines of like people and animals and like doing a primitive tribal life. Are you going to touch any of it? Do anything with it?
Is there anything of note?
Other than
Just
what
wanna-
I've described?
Mark down what I see in each scene. One's a battle scene, one's what?
Okay.
I just want to go over and see what the scenes are.
All right. And the one on the bottom left, it's a river scene. There's a dozen commoners gathering rushes and fishes with nets. And one further on from that on the left side, there's what look like 12 commoners engaged in farming and planting corn and harvesting wheat. There's,
Okay.
there's 5 tribal warriors standing guard, and some sort of priest or shaman in a bird costume blessing the fields. And then the one on the farthest left, um, there's a temple upon a tiered pyramid with 7 commoners bringing small offerings of gold and jade. And in front of the temple, there's um, some person in robes handling a constrictor snake. Around him stand 3 costumed tribal warriors. One dressed as a winged serpent holding a spear, another dressed as a bear with razor claws, and a third representing a coyote holding a torch. And there's little stone statues of the gods of their religion. And these are the figurines that have like little bits of gold and jade on them. I described the one Basil was looking at. The one in front of Elvator is a display that depicts the creation of the world. All the statuettes are stylized and obviously non-human. There's a god adorned in green quetzal feathers. Quetzal is a type of bird. It's mixing ashes with blood to form sculptures of men and women. And there are 4 towering figures painting red, black, blue, and white, painted red, black, blue, and white, standing about a fire, committing suicide with their daggers. And there's 2 smaller figures ringed by those 4. The modest, pimply one is being consumed by the fire, while the braggart, Lord of Snails, cowers in fear. And the one in the far right is a scene showing various forms of crafting. 12 commoners are weaving rugs and baskets, carving totems, making pots, grinding stones for weapons, and making clothes. Let's see. Hold on a second. And then there's the dome in the center, and that kind of looks like it's like the shape of a band shell. If you know what that is, a stage, with a curvy ceiling on half of it. And it depicts a hunting party of warriors in feathers and deer hide. Some have pulled down a stag with the aid of a dog. Another group is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spear. And there's a scout watching the panther from an outcropping above, and he's holding a metal staff with a loop in its end.
Only one of them. We have one that only has one person in it.
No, why'd you say that?
Okay. Because you said there's a scout watching a panther.
Yeah, but there's warriors in the scene too.
Oh, they're okay.
Yeah.
I was excited that was something different.
Okay. And
sorry, give me a throw you off.
The staff in that center dome, staff held by the scout figure, and it does have an odd shape to it. It doesn't look like a regular staff.
Okay. Who knows that?
All of you. So if anybody wants to say anything about it or investigate further,
I'm gonna go through all of these. Are there's 6 of them?
Okay,
I'm gonna go through all 6.
Give me an investigation.
Okay, I did the first one.
Yeah.
The one just above it. This one. Do I notice anything? Then we go over here.
The only thing that was to notice was the thing about that staff. And
Okay.
okay,
I'll play with it. Does
yeah,
it
that
like
little piece
does it twist around?
when you take the staff, something makes you think that it could be a key. It's
Hmm.
like that was made to look like a little staff or a figure, but you think it might be a key of some sort.
Okay. I'll carefully try to manipulate it. Does it turn left and right or up and down? Or
You can
pull
take it
in and
out.
out?
You can take it out of the hand of the figurine if you want, and you're just
Okay.
holding the little key.
Okay.
If that's indeed what it is.
Yeah. So do you guys want to grab all these figurines? Or should we leave them and like come back from later? In case you don't find anything better. Sure, probably will.
My thought was leave them.
Leave me, said?
I was gonna say my thought would be to leave them.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to take them. I mean, if
Well, you
you
said
want,
there's gold and jade on them. I mean,
oh
they're
yeah,
cool.
and those you might want to take the golden jade ones.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we'll grab the gold and jade ones.
Okay,
Okay. Now, let's look at this thing in the middle.
where do you put them?
Bag of holding.
Okay, so
In the
just mark it down on whatever you guys mark shit down on.
that's what I was asking. Are we about that loot thing?
There's like, yeah,
Because it seems like most of that stuff we should have already used up, like a gold ring for Babar and onyx gems, and I think we used up all this stuff, didn't we?
possibly, but you don't have to delete it. Just leave it there for now, and start a separate loop thing on the separate post. And this is yeah, 15 figurines, and each figurine has about 5 gold piece value of gold and jade. Everybody got that?
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Who's actually taking notes on this? Is anyone?
I am not.
Ryan was doing it before.
Oh, okay. No, it's the wrong one.
I think he's probably hitting the ganja tonight.
Hmm.
No,
It's
I have
mine
not.
somewhere.
I have not.
You're not as talkative as you normally are.
I tired. I've been sick all week, and I am not keeping track with everything. I've been on mute for this whole time I've been talking.
Okay.
Are you just waiting to roll dice?
Yeah, I'm just rating the roll dice. No, I've been listening, but I've been on mute. I've been interjecting things and wondering why everybody has been ignoring me. But
Okay, that's why you're on mute.
because I
How
was
do
on mute.
how do I open up Pandelver loot?
Well, we've got a loot thing in the roll 20.
Yeah, but I don't know how to
Edit it.
well,
You just click
it
on the
wasn't letting
channel.
me edit it.
No, don't edit it. Just start a new post.
Yeah,
And
how
then
do I
tell-
how do I start a new post? That's the problem I was running into.
Well, you go like this. You go over to Fandever Loot.
No, I was trying to do it in roll 20, not in
No, don't do it in roll 20. Go to Discord.
No.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, well then.
That's why I tried to do it in roll 20.
All right, then somebody else do it.
Not me. Not it. I'm already the
The map guy.
yeah,
All right, then I guess I gotta fucking do it. Okay, that's the beginning of the Tamaochan loop.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
So-
it. Now you can see the name typed out.
all right. So Basil stashes all the gold and jade shit in his bag of holding. Nothing else looks unusual. You guys go up to the door there, and the thing is, there's no fucking door handle, and it's just like a big smooth stone slab. What do you want to do?
Oh,
There's no visible locker handle, and scratches on the floor. Let's see. I'm sorry. Let me read this again.
Mhm.
There is something. It's not just totally smooth. The door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room. There are hinges on this side and scratches on the floor. There's no visible lock or handle on it, although a slight gap stretches across the top of the door. 8 holes seem to have been bored into the door. They're about an inch in diameter, but nothing can be seen in them. The doors seem to be fairly thick. The lintel is arched with a keystone at the top. I don't know what a lintel is.
it's a bean, isn't it?
What
It's a bean.
is it?
A lentil bean?
A lintel.
Oh.
The lintel
No,
is arched.
it's on the door. I think it's the doors are arches.
Yeah. There's a keystone at the top.
It's the beam above basically an opening. So that kind of that solid block of like stone or whatever. So it's an arch stone. Okay. And because if there's a keystone, it has that weird like kind of triangular four-sided brick thing. Okay.
Anybody doing anything?
Does
You said
the
there's 8 holes. I'm gonna take that key and see if it fits any of the 8 holes.
Okay, give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom or perception?
Perception. 31. Okay.
Not 20.
All right, so
This is why I let them do the fighting. This is the part I'm good at.
hidden under the keystone over the door, there does seem to be a hole that would fit where that little key thing can go into.
Can I reach it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll try to slide the key in.
Okay. You put it in there, you jiggle it around, you turn it, and you hear something in the hinges move, and a clicking and a thonking, and it sounds like it's unlocked.
Babar.
It looks like the door moves inward.
Okay,
Alright.
I put the key away. Babar,
All right.
this is for you. Door's unlocked. You can open it. Let me get behind you.
Now, do you want me to run into the door and open it, or do you want me just to
No,
try to slide
you
it open?
pull it open. It's
Okay.
unlocked. You pull it open.
Oh, okay.
I cast mage lights right in front of Babar, so the area will be lit as soon as he opens the door.
Mage light?
The dancing lights.
Not
Okay.
not charisma. That is not what I wanted to roll.
Okay, it's heavy. It's stone, and you're not getting it by yourself. So
How
Vykon,
the
Vykon
fuck
wants
did I roll better on my charisma roll than I did on my athletics roll?
Vykon takes one hand and pulls it open. All right, there you go. All right. So you see the dancing lights cast light into the next chamber before you, and there's like you feel like a circulation of wind come through, and it blows a bit of dust through, and you see a 10-foot wide corridor ahead of you. Looks like it goes straight about 20 feet and then turns to the left. And you don't really see anything in that corridor itself. The only thing that you notice is that the walls of the corridor are carved. They're stone, but they're carved to resemble like a stack of bamboo-like logs. So go ahead and move in however you're going to move.
Vykon can go next. Roadrunner booby trap can hit at you guys. There. Are these doors right here?
I'm not sure. You have to get closer to him to find out. Theranos and Ruehnar have to move their tokens.
I have no map up. I still have.
Okay.
Try touching your icon. Your token.
No. I mean, like the what would be the map has been on loading, and with a random bit of things. I've got nothing.
You have to refresh.
I've tried 3 times. Yeah, actually switched to a different system that wasn't working. I'll try again. So I really, literally cannot see what's going on.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
Ryan, are you loaded in?
He said he's got the same thing. He's got the same thing I had a while ago, where it just continues to load and it doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Are you?
Right.
Yeah.
Have you tried Firefox?
Well, I was on.
That's what I had to switch to.
No. Oh, okay. That's actually a good point. Maybe I'll try something else. So I was on Safari. I switched to Chrome. That wasn't any better.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do something.
I will move you up behind the group.
Thank you. This one.
Now we'll move
That's all we got.
the tiger up behind it.
All right. Well, I wish to examine this northern door.
Okay. It's not actually a door.
It's another one of those stone things.
It is. Let me check out the description here. It's just a carving in the side of the wall that looks like a stack of bamboo-like logs.
So
And it looks like from where you are, from that point, the floor starts slanting downward to where you see double doors down at the end of that hall. And those double doors look like they're doors of bronze.
okay. So the floor is slanting towards those doors as if to
Going downward towards those doors, yeah.
is it like slick or is it can we still have any grip?
No, it's regular stone floors. It's not like you'll slide or anything like that. It's
Okay.
not that steep.
It's not that steep yet.
No.
But they're definitely
It's not like
it seems like they're moving us towards this set of double doors. Something lures us this way. Clearly, they are assisting my master, Asharjalon. Let us go.
everybody else do their movement.
Yeah, I'm stopping here. I'm waiting for enough to let you go ahead of me. I'm sorry. The fine warrior types to go ahead of me.
We
Let
are
me know when
indeed
you need me to
fine
look at
warriors,
something.
which is why I can do 30 damage in one turn.
That's
Generally,
and I did more than that. So
Well, yeah,
whatever.
I can do it pretty much every turn. You
So can I
can't.
if I drop acid at people, or if I drop enough acid. I mean, whatever.
generally, the mountain. So Makuto and I would. Makuto and Ruehnar would be ahead. In loading, I basically have what looks like a moon. So this isn't open.
Okay. So could somebody move Makuto and Ruehnar up toward the front?
I can't move them.
Okay.
I think the only one who can move them would be Ryan
And Raymond.
and Raymond. Lovely.
Raymond has the power.
Like there, more.
And is Theranos hanging back all the way back there? Or are you joining him?
I'm gonna be side by side with the detective.
Okay. Right after Ruehnar goes over there and you guys stay there, those two log carvings on the side where you guys are, from the back end, they like come off of the wall and they sweep inwards and they push you guys to the left. So move yourself up one square to the left.
You mean
Me
toward?
or
Both
You mean to the
Theranos
west?
and
Basil?
Basil and Theranos move.
You mean
So
to the
I
west?
go.
This way?
No, not to the west, because the effed up thing about this map is the left is north. If you look down at the thing,
But that way, where the
Yeah.
arrows. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I move myself.
All right, Theranos move over. Now, when you do that, you both take 2d6 damage.
Son of a bitch.
Those stone things just like come out and whack you guys real hard and push you forward.
Okay. How much do we roll it or do you roll it?
I'm doing it. Basil, you take 9.
Son of a.
Theranos, you also take 9. Ooh.
That was a third. I'm down to third.
Okay.
You got any good
Now,
berries?
those now the way those are, they're pointing in your direction like a chevron, and they just stay frozen like that.
They don't reset.
No, they stay like that, blocking your way so you can't go back.
Ah, okay. I'm gonna go back. Can I look down? Did we step on something?
Yes. You see it, what looks like a pressure plate there.
This is why I grabbed the damn 10-pound rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a. Ah, you know what? I'm an idiot. Okay.
Okay. So you see those bronze doors in front of you.
Uh-huh.
What are you gonna do? Elvator?
Elvator, can you lay hands on me?
I can, but I don't think I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar wants to get these doors open.
Okay, you look at the bronze doors, and they're carved to resemble like a forest of seaweed.
Okay. Big
All right, you
kelp
push them
forest.
open. If you try to
I
push them, you feel that they do move.
okay. Yep. Push them open a little bit.
Okay. Now, do you like bust in there like Aragorn opening the door in Lord of the Rings?
Depends
Or-
how easy. If they open easily, then heck yeah.
Okay. You open both doors and walk in there. I kind of follow behind.
Just ballin'. What the frick is that?
Okay. All right. Does Makuto and Ruehnar go in?
Yes,
You're
but
gonna wait
more
for
cautiously.
Elvator. Sorry, what was that?
Yes, but cautiously.
Okay.
Yeah. What the
All right, can
frick
somebody
is
move
that?
them up a couple of squares? Okay, so you see in there,
What the
let me
kaboopy?
go ahead and
Yeah,
read the
can you shift Z that creature?
I got it.
So that
Oh,
looks like
hell no.
a
like a giant crayfish.
okay, giant crayfish.
All right, don't do
Yes.
anything yet. Let me read the description. The room is constructed of large stone blocks, buttressed in the corners. The size of the room is, let's see, what?
About 40 feet.
It's like 100 by 100 feet, like a square room.
What?
Kind of, it's like an octagon room.
But
No, it's
this
not
room
100.
Sorry,
is
it's
this room
50.
is like 50 by 50.
My mistake. 50 by 50, and it's kind of like shaped like an octagon. To the right, there's a door. To the left, there's a door, and in the middle, it looks like there's a big like half circle stone, like a big stone in the middle of the room. There's that big crayfish like sitting in the room.
Yeah.
It's like a giant crayfish. And behind the big stone in the middle of the room, it looks like there's a stairway. And the walls are wet and slimy. Mud covers most of the floor in a thin coating. In the center of the chamber is a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is 5 feet tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots. Leaning against it is what appears to be a bamboo staff. In the mud around the base of the boulder is a moving shape looking like a crayfish. It's facing you. It seems to be aware of your presence. And you actually start hearing sounds coming from it, which say, Oshuda, Olupotaka, Ashipuktil Grand Park Finkoporo, Duru Wezokchinani Vestat, Ekta Sumtiri Wani Slemo Jirapulu.
Guys.
Is that a language that any of us speak?
What would it be?
Well, none of you
Mm,
recognize
Wow.
it as it begins speaking.
I can
So-
speak to animals.
I can speak to animals.
Well,
I cannot.
it did not. So what do you say?
Hello, fellow creature of the world. We mean you no harm. We wish to go in peace and explore. We mean you personally no harm.
Tell him we try to get out of here.
Oh, and it might be to your advantage to leave this temple. It is a fallen place. Food must not be very plenty. We can help you get out of here.
Adventurers are friends, not food.
Okay. Was anybody else? Was anybody else?
Unfortunately.
So you hear the druid speaking to it in some kind of weird language. Is anybody else doing anything?
Don't make me do it.
Hmm.
Don't make me do it.
So move yourself into the room, Theranos.
Here we go.
Why does our party insist on not talking to intelligent creatures, but talking?
Okay.
I'm the
Okay.
opposite. Whenever we well, okay, I guess I tried to talk to that plant.
Apparently, our characters are American.
Anybody else is doing anything?
Well, if he's talking to
Nope.
if does his like speak with animals seem to be working? Like, does the beast understand, or at least
No,
show
I'm
signs
saying
of comprehension?
I'm just saying as he's beginning to speak to it, are you doing anything?
Aside from watching the beast to see if it's reacting, no.
Okay.
Makuto hisses and roars.
Okay. One more.
Or whatever. I don't know what they do. And like showing its claws, kind of thing.
Okay.
He can't do.
You understand its reply, and it says, "Who is this? Who dares enter the chamber of the Guardian? You had better go, or I'll have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off with you before I lose my temper and become angry."
We came to restore glory to the temple. It's fallen on hard times. We've been tasked with bringing it to its former glory. We have the ability, we have the equipment. We just need your help to let us pass.
We have the power.
Roll of persuasion.
I knew you were going to say that.
Good luck.
All right, come on, better than 4.
A 5.
20.
Damn.
That's a 20.
Yes, it is a nat 20. He goes, "You seem like a smart creature. I will let you pass, but you will not touch my friend in the center of the room."
Your friend.
Yes, my friend.
We will not touch your friend in the center of the room. You have my druid's promise of tiefling. The creeds of the mountains.
Very well, then. You may pass.
Hot dog.
As Babar walks by,
By the way,
he kind of,
hey, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just pause for a moment. Theranos, I'm going to give you something called a bonus token. And basically, what that is a reroll at any time of your choice. It's just
It's
like
a
a little
penny.
chip. You ever fuck something up, you get to re-roll it again. Okay.
Okay.
Just tell me you're using your bonus token.
I will do so.
Okay.
Does some awesome? Can he re-roll to fuck it up?
Yes.
Yep, works
Yes,
that way
he can.
too.
Not trying to too good.
As Babar walks by the middle of this thing, he kind of peeks to see what's in there.
Okay, give me an investigation roll.
Gotta get my character sheet back up.
You see the crayfish in the center, though. He's kind of like making sure, he doesn't like how you're like getting close to it, so he's watching you.
7.
It just looks like a big brown dirt covered stone in the middle of the room.
And you said this is a piece of bamboo?
It looks like a bamboo staff next, like on top of the rock, leaning against the rock.
Right. I want to do a divine sense in this room.
Okay.
Don't touch the thing in the middle, people. Do not.
Your divine sense is feeling something in this direction. It's like feels nice.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you don't really feel anything.
All right. I don't think this rock will amount to anything, guys, but I sense evil in this direction. And I'm guessing it's through this door, so we should do what the Guardian says and leave.
Yeah. Everybody with us now?
Yes.
Shouldn't we check the? Are we gonna walk across, or do we want to check all the rest of the room first?
Well, that is an area that we can explore, but If we're going systematically, then we would likely miss this area.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to that area first. Then where you're at.
All right. So if
What's up
everybody's
north?
ready, then we can go through the door.
Okay.
It's another
Alright.
hallway. And Matt, can you turn on Explorer mode?
I don't know.
Or-
How to do
Okay, Matt or Ryan. Explorer mode, please. I'd like to
What's
see where we
Explorer?
have been.
that. Oh yeah. I would like you to be able to see where you've been. Also.
Oh, it's dark and bleak and black and oh, that's racist.
As we walk out, I ask if anybody does anybody want gumbo now?
Not the time, Babar. Not the time. Later. Maybe we can come across this thing while it is sleeping and then make some herbs and spices.
All right. So
Make some TFS. Tamaochan fried shellfish.
so you
Well,
open
that's
up.
right.
All right. So you push those doors open, or that one door. As you come into, it's basically a 10-foot wide corridor that goes forward. But
Hey, a quick
maybe
question.
it goes forward about 80 to 100 feet in that 10-foot wide corridor. Off to at the very end of it, in the last 10 feet of it, it looks like it turns to the left. But about 40 feet up, no, 20 feet up, and to the right, it looks like there's some kind of like big stone slab that was placed there, like to block a portal or a doorway. In addition, the walls of the corridor are wet and slimy. The stucco covering it's become saturated with water and it's decomposing and sloughing off in spots in the wall to the right. And that's why you see the seams of where the big stone slab is.
So it's basically my basement.
Basically, what?
My basement.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So, does everybody step into that corridor and leave the room with the crayfish?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
First, we haven't just like outright killed.
I'm gonna push a 10-pound rock ahead of me, 30 feet ahead of me.
Oh,
I learned my lesson.
You're gonna push
Yeah.
on
That it's gonna be 30 feet ahead of me just as I walk, looking for whatever. With the
All right.
the cantrip,
Your hands start to burn.
the rock. No, I'm doing the mage hand.
Nah, you didn't say. And
Yeah, I did. It's 30 feet ahead of me. How else would I do it? With a cantrip, mage hand.
you walk up to it and you do it.
Yeah.
You said 30 feet ahead of me. I pushed the stone slab.
No, the 10-pound stone. I'm looking for more of those pressure tracks.
You're sliding it along the ground.
Yeah,
With mage hand.
the cantrip.
Okay. Next time, be more descriptive, please. All right, so you slide it along and nothing happens.
Okay.
How much can you move with mage hand?
10 pounds, 30 feet.
Okay.
Oop.
Okay. Anybody else gonna move or do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right here.
Okay.
Let you guys go ahead of me.
Elvator, what are you doing? Nothing?
Over door.
it again. I am sorry, I muted. No, I'm totally fine with watching him use his mage hand to disable any pressure traps or whatever.
Yeah, it didn't seem to pick up anything, and it goes to like, I'll ping it. He gets it like around here. Oh, sorry, I'm pinging the wrong thing.
Since you made,
He gets it around here. It happens.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go to
since
the
you
corner
pointed
then.
out the stucco on the walls, I'm gonna try to check. I'll use my
All right.
now. Once it's up to that point, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna look at the stucco on the walls since you made a point talking about that.
All right. Is
Hold on,
this
let me
is the
first
top of
thing.
the stairway collapsed?
Yes, it is. It's all caved in rubble.
All right. Well, then there's no point in continuing going that way. It's just a stairway with a whole bunch of rubble collapsed on the top of it. There's nothing there. So let's see what's inside this. So, is this like a big rock at this or something in front of it?
It's like a big square stone slab, and it looks like little seams around the edges of it are, you can tell, are there. But it's a tightly fitting stone.
Okay.
The block's made of limestone, and the entire face of it is like covered with like wet slime.
Okay.
All the walls are actually.
All right. Sounds disgusting.
Wait, when you say slime, you mean like like an ooze or?
Like a wet moss
Oh.
or algae.
What, probably like wet paint. Babar kicked the door.
Okay.
What?
You kick it and it's just solid, and it burns the bottom of your foot for a point of acid damage.
All right.
For 1 point acid damage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up for a second. I'm gonna tell everyone to move away, and I'm gonna shoot a blast of a Chardalon's Fury, which is also Eldritch
Acid
Blast type attack.
But it's also acid damage.
No, the Chardalon's Fury is necrotic damage.
No.
The Divine Smite is acid damage.
Ah.
So does this do anything to this block?
It looks like the wetness and everything is still there.
Okay.
I'll charge it.
Just to give you an idea, the stone is about 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and that's 6 feet tall and 3 feet wide.
Okay.
I'll charge it.
Okay. You charge it and you bounce right off of it. You take another point of acid damage along the side of your arm.
Really? I can't push it? I mean, I am an elephant. I do have the charger feet.
Yeah, your strength alone did not do it.
Well, what if I use my strength and my heart? No, I'm kidding.
That made it worse.
All right.
My heart takes 1 point of acid damage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what you guys. Maybe we call it there and then we try and figure out the door next week.
Yeah,
This might be a good place to stop because I was
it's-
thinking 1 a.m. we would stop.
Yeah,
That's
1 a.m. for you guys.
Nope.
That is okay.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Indeed.
Cool beans.
Well, I'll see you Monday, Ryan.